episode of Dream Stories Podcast.
We
For
are.
a few more episodes, it's still Dream Stories Podcast.
It is.
Yeah, but we've got all kinds of exciting things going on.
Do you want to talk about that on the front side or back side? Or?
I don't know. We don't have to talk about it much. We just I
Okay.
just like teasing.
Keep teasing.
I like
Okay.
teasing everybody about
That's,
it.
okay, that sounds like you.
Yeah.
You are a teaser, aren't
Well,
you?
I am a teaser.
Okay,
Not
so
a taser, but a teaser.
no. Okay, so you had some thoughts we were talking about earlier.
Well, we just been talking a lot about symbols, and I thought people seem to be enjoying the conversations about symbols. It's helping them with, their dreams and things. So I thought it would be fun just to keep talking about symbols for a little
Yeah,
while. Just do some more symbol topics.
Okay.
So because we did things in nature, and we did clothing, and we did parts of the body, and
Right.
just stuff like that. So I don't know. We did.
So
Did we do
start
rooms
with-
in a house or something?
I think we did do rooms in a house.
We did too.
Yeah, we did.
So,
or just rooms and buildings,
and buildings,
locations
yeah.
in general.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
So I don't remember. You never listened to the podcast, so
I was sitting here
have not
thinking,
listened to
what
the
did we
last
do it
few,
on? I
so-
can't remember.
well, we do it, so we don't listen to
I
it
know.
again.
I
but
mean,
so-
you don't want to sit and
already know.
listen to yourself.
right
unless-
after I've done it, I know what I said.
The only time I go back and listen is when I think there might be something possibly wrong,
Yeah,
and I want someone to correct it.
and you want to be sure that the right, what do they call it? Snapshot, still the
thumbnail.
thumbnail. Yeah,
Oh,
you want to be sure the right thumbnail's up.
I mean, I'm over it, so I have to be
Well,
because I can't change
You're
it.
beautiful all the time.
Oh,
so.
you're sweet. Thank you.
So, I don't know I'm sweet. I mean, I know you're beautiful. So okay, so let's talk about modes of transportation,
Okay.
vehicles and things. And the assumption, I think the problem is when you're in Christian circles, biblical dream interpretation is typically in Christian circles.
Right.
It's used elsewhere too, but for others
Right.
who are not necessarily Christians. We have some people who aren't Christians who listen to the podcast because the principles are really good across the board. But as a Christian, when I think about vehicles, I think about a mode of transportation, the way I get from here to there. And that is often going to be in a broad, big picture related to life, the journey I'm on, how I'm getting from the beginning to the end of life. So life. It's going to be a ministry, how I'm accomplishing or getting to the destiny or purpose that God's given me to do, or work, how I'm getting through life with, the provision and resources of accomplishing what.
How does it play out?
Yeah, how
Right.
does it play out? So it's
Yeah.
many times a vehicle relates in some fashion to one of those three things:
Yeah.
life, work, or ministry. And so unfortunately what happens is because that's a relatively common meaning
Right.
for a vehicle, a lot of people just jump to the conclusion, particularly as Christians, there was a car in your dream, that's your ministry.
Yeah.
You have talked about a dream one time that you had about one of our sons having a wreck with his
Right.
car.
Right.
And what was your, he's bumping all these cars going down the
Right.
road. And what was your initial thought about what that dream meant?
I thought, well, in his ministry or whatever God has for him to do in life, he may, have some, bumps along the road that could affect other people.
And that's a very reasonable, typical interpretation.
It is. It didn't make sense to me at the time. I thought it just didn't
It
make
didn't
sense.
set right
It didn't
with
set
you,
right with
which
me.
is something we have to pay attention
Yeah,
to.
yeah.
We have to have a witness, a feeling,
Right.
a discernment
Right.
that the meaning we're selecting, that
Right.
we think we're selecting it, the meaning that we're choosing to apply to that symbol is the right one.
Yeah.
Because we really shouldn't be picking a meaning by chance. We really should be discerning
Right.
what the Spirit of God is revealing to us about a meaning.
Right.
And so vehicles, I don't know, probably 90% of the time are going to be, and particularly for Christian dreams, vehicles 90% of the time are going to be not just work or life or ministry, but they're going to be ministry,
Yeah.
a ministry function or purpose. or a purpose or a destiny
life
of some kind, a
purpose.
life purpose of some kind. Probably 90% of the time, but it's really easy to just make the assumption that's what it is.
Yeah.
And that's kind of in one way, as long as we've been doing dreams, it's still kind of in one way what you did with that dream, but it wasn't what the dream was about.
No, because he actually did have a fender bender with someone, and actually he was injured. You know, he had a broke leg. Yeah. So, and I remember when I had the dream, it was a very strong or prominent dream. He was away at college, but I was interpreting it more about his life. Either way, anytime, I mean, dreams to me are about prayer, you know, it's how I tend to, I won't say I tend to, my intention is to pray about what I'm dreaming about, you know, why? Because I feel like I'm having this, you know, communication with my Creator, and so you know, trying to be a good steward of what he's given me through dreams. And it's not that I live by it, but I'm listening to it, you know?
I think anytime you have a dream about somebody else, regardless of what the meaning is, regardless of what the symbolism means, when you have a dream about somebody else or with somebody else in it, particularly if it's somebody you haven't thought about a lot recently or something, really just anytime you have a dream with somebody else in it, it doesn't hurt to wake up and pray for that person.
And that's right. No, it's not. It can't hurt anything.
It doesn't matter what the dream is.
Beneficial.
It's not a bad habit.
Right. So, I mean, I did say a quick little prayer for our son, you know, but honestly, I felt like it was more about life for him. Yeah. And so I prayed for that. And then later that week, you know, he was in a car wreck, and
which could have been really, really bad.
Oh, it could have been so bad. And what I think about too is how we can have a relationship with God, and how He gave me that information. I didn't quite understand it, but that's okay. It taught me something. First of all, pay attention to your dreams. Secondly, don't take it flippantly or think that it's not going to happen or that it can't happen that way. It can, does not necessarily mean it will. But when you've done all you can do, you can't control situations. So even if I had thought for sure that it was about him literally having a wreck, which I didn't, what am I going to do? Control him and say you can't drive, you can't live, you can't.
We didn't even know he was going to the place he was going. He was in school away from home.
Right.
And we get the call he's off in some other town somewhere. So we absolutely couldn't have done anything about it.
Right.
So in that sense, God, I don't want to say God misled us, because He didn't.
No.
But God allowed us to see something we wanted to see, you to see something you wanted to see.
Right.
So that you'd say the quick prayer, which is what was needed.
Right.
But you didn't get emotional or freaked out or just worried. So He doesn't reveal the
I didn't do that until He called me.
Understanding of the dream. Right. But you would have been trying to say, you can't go anywhere, you can't do this.
Actually, you freaked out worse than I did.
I freaked out really bad when He called us. That's true. So.
Maybe that's why I had the dream, because you tend to not be the level-headed person when an emergency happens.
That's a hard statement. That's a strong statement. Just because
strong
I
but
react with strong emotion doesn't mean I don't have a level head of any kind.
It's okay.
Okay, anyway, so we're talking about vehicles. That's an illustration of how, you can take a typical meaning and it can be applied all wrong. Not only that, but even if it has that meaning, that the vehicles in that dream, the vehicle did mean his life.
It did.
He was his life was about to be involved in an accident. That would cause harm to him and to others, because it did. It caused. He wasn't driving; he was a passenger and got T-boned on the passenger side. But he was about to be involved in something that did cause harm, damage. So the general meaning was still true. It was about life, not ministry, because that's what we as Christians tend to think it is. But it was about life. But there's also, even if that is a very, very, very common meaning, the context of the dream, what's happening, in this case, the wreck itself, it could have been metaphor. It wasn't. It wasn't as much of a metaphor in this case. But the context and the type of vehicle can reveal to us something about what kind of ministry, what aspect of life, what part of your workplace, things of that nature. So different types of vehicles will relate to different things. So being in a bicycle or being in a bicycle. I guess you should say being on a bicycle.
Yeah.
Being on a bicycle is different from riding in a car, and that's different from flying in a plane, which is also different from, riding in a boat.
Train.
Or riding on a train.
I just wanted to...
Planes, trains, and automobiles.
I just wanted to green eggs and ham you there.
Okay, well, thank you. I appreciate that. Anyway, but the idea is the type of vehicle and the specific type of vehicle. Not only just is a bicycle different from a car, is different from a plane, is different from a train, but a red convertible is different from a brown station wagon.
Or a hot air balloon.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Wow. That would be a cool one to interpret, wouldn't it, in a dream?
A hot air balloon?
Yeah.
Well, that could go two ways.
I know. That's why I said, wow, it could go a lot of ways.
You're really puffing yourself up, but you're really just full of hot air.
Exactly. And you're tossed by the wind, right?
Yeah.
You're carried about by the wind, right?
Tossed every which way by every wind of doctrine. Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah,
okay. We didn't know.
But it could also be that you're full of the breath of the Spirit and being lifted up.
Yeah, because what if the hot air balloon had some amazing writing on the outside of how they have decorative balloons and things?
Yeah, a very decorative balloon.
Decorative.
Yes. So
please,
in the shape
if you make fun of my talking,
I'm not going to do it. I'm not making.
I get to make fun of your yaller.
So, okay, well, anyway, a very decorative balloon, like in the shape of the sun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Could be good. So all these pieces of context change. If not the general meaning, they will definitely change the specific meaning. And so you're asking Holy Spirit to stir up in you the witness to what not only the symbol means generally, but what does the context bring it to mean. So we talked about several different types of vehicles. People are probably going to wish we would talk about. I tried to do hot air balloon. You did, but we'd already talked about bicycles and cars and planes and trains and boats and some other things.
Yeah.
I don't know. So just going through it quickly, a bicycle takes more of your physical strength, more man's effort to move.
Yeah.
So it's smaller, can only carry one person. You're just asking yourself questions about the characteristics and qualities of the type of vehicle it is.
Yeah, what kind of bicycle is it?
Yeah, what if it's a bicycle built for two?
What if it's a tricycle?
Yeah. What if it is?
I'm thinking Trinity.
Yeah, something about, even though it's a lot of your own effort, there's still a God thing involved in the movement.
That could be a positive side. A negative side could be you're trying too hard.
Oh,
you could be a play on words.
Tricycle, you're trying too hard. You're trying, but you're just doing it in your own strength.
Right.
Yeah.
And everything's ready for you there. It's easy.
Yeah.
Trying too hard.
Good.
What about
a bicycle built for two means it's a lot of your own strength, but you do have someone in agreement with you.
What about a unicycle?
Or what if people are pedaling in opposite directions?
Ooh.
Maybe there's disagreement. Or a unicycle means you're all on your own. It's all by yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
That's cool. What about the old ones that have a huge front tire and a tiny
little bitty back tire?
Yeah.
Great big front tire, little bitty back tire. What's that's from a movie or something?
I don't know, but you were very into it. You did a good job.
That's from a movie somewhere.
Okay, carry on, Michael.
I'm sorry. Okay. So that might be that you've got big goals and ambitions for where you're supposed to go, but you're moving in your own strength, and you don't have balance. the completion is
or
not
old-fashioned way, an old way of doing things.
Yeah.
Didn't they have wooden tires sometimes on those?
Yeah, I think they had wooden tires sometimes.
Yeah, so archaic way of doing
natural thing. Something that's natural. It's not man-made.
Right.
Well, it's something that was natural, but now it's been formed and shaped by man.
Right.
The wooden tire.
Right.
Yeah. So you see what we're talking about here is you're just working through the potential meanings for these things. And you're waiting on Holy Spirit to give you the confirmation of what it is. So a car depends on what kind of car it is.
Yeah.
What if it's the Batmobile?
What if it is?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah. So if it's the Batmobile, maybe it's about
something hidden.
It's something hidden or veiled. It could be something to do with justice, because Batman was part of the Justice League, so it could have to do with justice. It could be something that is there's got a little bit more power, but there's a dark element to it.
Yeah.
Because he's the Dark Knight, so it's kind of it could be that the ministry and purpose, you're in the middle of a dark night of the soul.
Oh, true. Okay.
So that it's not the dark NIGHT. It's the dark NIGHT instead of the dark KNIGHT.
So the interesting thing is you would have to be a Marvel or a DC person to understand some metaphors that people would have.
Well, but there's the thing. God will speak to you in the metaphors that you're familiar with.
Absolutely.
He will use things that fit your language.
Absolutely.
So,
which I love. Yeah,
he's good with that. Or, okay, so what if it instead of Marvel or DC, it's a Fred Flintstone car?
Well, that one is so easy, Michael. Oh. It's doing things in your own strength.
You ought to have more power,
and it should be
still doing it in your strength.
And it's very heavy and hard to move. So
yeah, it's all by your.
You don't have much covering when it rains. It's some flappy little piece of material.
Yeah, you can get there a little better if you have a passenger who's also pedaling.
That helps a lot. Or if you're being chased by a dinosaur, that helps a lot.
That helps motivate.
That gives you much more, power.
So let's just take. I said a red convertible.
Yeah.
What's the difference between a red convertible and a brown station wagon? Color comes into play. Red's a color of wisdom. Red's a color of anger. Red's a color associated with stop something. Red's a color associated sometimes with prayer. So it could have to do with one of those things.
Or war.
War, it can relate to war or bloodshed or violence. Passion, yep. And then it's a convertible. There's an open top. You're open to the elements, or you're open to being impacted by the world around you.
But a station wagon.
Or wait a minute, you could also have an open heaven.
Yeah.
It's a clear line of communication
to
God. No, I said you could be impacted by the world around you.
Oh.
But you knew what it could be, and you were hearing it before I said it.
Maybe.
That's what it was.
Maybe.
So station wagon. So go ahead. What's the difference with a station wagon?
Well, station. I mean, you're not moving. Stationary is what I'm thinking. I understand what a station wagon is, but
you're the play on words. It's stationary.
I think of, you're carrying the whole family. You're not going anywhere fast. You got the whole family with you. Because I grew up in a station. I mean, I didn't grow up in a station wagon, but I grew up. My parents riding us around in a station wagon. Yeah.
Your brothers and sisters might take question whether you
grew up in a station wagon. I think it was a white station wagon. Listen, I probably did grow up in a station wagon.
Practically all your time spent in the station wagon. Right? Well, and so you emphasize station. I was thinking about wagon, and I think about a wagon train, supply.
It's still slow.
It is slow, but it's carrying your supplies or pioneering. The wagon train, the pioneering.
But you said a brown station wagon.
I said a brown station wagon. So
passion, or compassion.
Compassion.
Maybe pastoral
things, shepherding, caring for others, caring, compassion, or humanism, and just a secular based mindset. It could be part of what it is. So it could also be things are muddied.
I was going to say dirty, and I thought you would laugh at me.
No, I think muddied, brown and dirty or muddied.
Not washing it. So what about if on the vehicle there's a flat tire?
Well, that's a good one. That's an aspect of the context that you have to take into consideration. So air, wind, often speaks of the spirit. So you might be, not as full of the Spirit as you need to be. You might be lacking something. Mm-hmm. It could be that you've been deflated, you've been depressed or down. Yeah. Not completely, but what if all four tires are flat?
Right.
That would make a difference. So you've got this distinction, whether you're in the station wagon or the convertible, makes a difference to what your purpose, your destiny, your ministry is. And then you move to another level. What about, we had bicycles, a lot of your own effort, but now you've got some more strength. You get there not of your own strength completely, but what if it's not a car, it's a motorcycle?
Yeah. You gotta have good balance.
Yep. You're still only carrying one person, probably. I mean, you might, in some countries you might be carrying several, but.
Not just some countries. Americans have,
more than one person. Usually you don't see more than a couple people on a motorcycle.
Well, that's true. How many have you seen?
In some countries I've seen a few more than a couple of people on a motorcycle.
Oh, yeah.
So something more maneuverable, but you're still limited on the capacity of what you can carry.
Maneuverable, and that you can go places that others may not can get to.
Yeah, more narrow. You can get down a more narrow way.
Right.
So we, thinking just of time, we move up to planes, airplanes. That's going to be different. That's the ability to move higher in the spirit, higher in the atmosphere, or to move with a higher calling, or carry more people.
Yeah.
If it's a jumbo jet, that's different from a crop duster or an old biplane. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So something that's more old versus something that's modern, or something that's more traditional versus something that's more cutting edge,
And sometimes there's a play on an airplane, because it's plane. It's a plane. It could be a plane, a field, and you really have to, that's going deep. I understand that, but sometimes there are play on words that you have to pay attention to, right? So it could be plain as in vanilla is plain, or a plane as in the Great Plains.
Or plain as in something's clear. It's plain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't need much more explanation. It should be plain to you.
Right.
Yeah, and boats. Moving in the spirit again, moving on the water. Water is often water is a picture of the Spirit, but water can also be about the Word of God. So you're moving on the Word. You're standing on the Word, or moving on the Word.
What if it's Wonder Woman's plane?
You threw me off there because we're talking about boats, and I'm thinking.
You said planes a minute ago.
Wonder Woman's plane.
I'm
we
sorry.
weren't talking about planes. I was saying Wonder Woman. I'm serious. My initial thought is, you can tell I'm a geek. My initial thought is, Wonder Woman didn't have a boat.
I said plane. I thought you were still talking about planes. I thought you were going to be very proud of me for thinking of Wonder Woman's plane.
Well, it's the invisible jet. So that one would be, you're very transparent, very vulnerable, very visible what you're doing. Or maybe you don't have a full grasp of everything that's around you, everything that's supporting you.
It's interesting that we went from plane to boat back to plane. And
How did we do that?
If you just put me in the equation, it can happen very easily.
We're thinking about a whole new podcast just to put Lisa on to talk about superhero movies and science fiction things, Star Wars and that kind of stuff, because she never gets any of it right. Yeah. It's so you do occasionally, but it's so encouraging when you get something right.
Well, sometimes I do some amazing things, and I don't even know I've done them.
Got there. That's right.
Okay, but anyway, what I was going to say was on the plane, talking about planes. You said jet, so even that word can make a difference.
Yeah.
You think of something jet setter, someone cool. It's really it's fast.
Very fast as opposed to a crop duster.
Yeah.
Or a propeller-based plane, a prop plane. Hey, a prop
boat. I couldn't resist.
Like the boat from the Jaws movie said, it was a prop.
Yeah. Props on the boat.
The prop is a piece of. Oh man, you just got me real off now. So we can't even stick to a flow of the topic.
I'm sorry.
No, it's good. So what's the emphasis? Maybe the prop of the boat is larger than the boat should be. That tells you something. It's an emphasis then on the prop, the propeller that pushes the boat forward. So maybe it's the source of power, the way it's propelled forward is what the emphasis is instead of the kind of boat. Or maybe if it was the prop from the movie set of Jaws, it's about a boat that's somewhere it didn't need to be and it's going to be in trouble.
Okay, so a prop plane with a prop propellers,
yes,
right?
Yes.
It's not the same as a prop on a boat, but it's a propeller boat prop. It's not the same.
So the propellers are the same, but you call it a prop, a prop plane versus a jet plane. I've never heard it called a prop boat.
I didn't mean to call it that. I'm just saying a boat has a prop on it.
Okay. Well, let's
give me some credit. My daddy was a fisherman, so give me some credit.
It's true, but there's also a rowboat.
And my dad was also a pilot.
So he
I know about props.
He did rotary wing planes.
I know about
rotary
props.
wing aircraft. He did.
Daddy did fixed wings too.
Well, I didn't know that. So he's a prop man.
You know, I flew in airplanes with my dad.
I probably did. I'm sure.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
We have some work to do in our marriage, obviously.
No, well, I mean, he was the main thing he did was helicopters. So that's what I always identify with. So,
that's
but
true.
anyway, so what's the difference between a rowboat and a, other kind of boat, a prop boat? You're doing you're still with your own strength.
Yeah, you're doing it with your own strength. Yeah.
Or a submarine that still goes in the water, but it goes deep and it goes under the surface. Or a jet ski.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a dream given to me one time about a jet ski. It was a particular brand. They said, I had this dream, and all I can remember is I was going up and down the beach on this Sea-Doo, on this jet ski Sea-Doo. And that was a wordplay.
Yeah.
Because that was God is telling you what you see do. So sometimes, even though there's a symbol, it's the name or the brand or something that comes into the mix.
That's cool.
So, yeah. So, boy, we could have talked about this one for a long time because I can still think of things like, what about tanks?
Yeah.
Military tanks. Warfare.
Flying carpets.
Oh, that's cool.
You were, I'm sorry, this is where I went. I went to Arabia. I went to
you went to
Arabic
Iraq.
nations.
You went to
Iraq.
And
I was in a tank, and then I was on a flying carpet.
Yeah.
That's how it works with me.
It is. It's true. So what does a flying carpet mean? We only have time for one more symbol. You have to do flying carpet because you raised it.
I don't know. It's getting somewhere without effort being taken by the wind of the Spirit.
I like that. And it could be something that's going to be magical.
Whole new world.
Yeah, whole new world. There you go. Look at that.
Yeah.
You're going to have a magical experience.
I was even thinking about, what about skis? Like cross-country skiing.
Now, so you've added the symbol, and we don't even hardly have time.
I had that at the very
so
beginning.
So that's moving across a frozen things in life that are cold and frozen. You still have the ability to move forward, even though you may be in a winter season in your life. You still have the ability to
you can
move
go fast.
Forward. You can, or you can
in
be
the right
consistent.
circumstances. Yeah.
It's true.
Cool.
All right, we're out of time. We just blew through transportation in a hurry, didn't we?
Yeah.
Well,
I was in a silly way tonight. I'm sorry.
You were.
You don't know how close I came to singing a song from my teenage years. You said something about the wagon. Oh, go ahead.
Train.
You better end it, and we'll have bloopers. I'm gonna sing a song.
All right. Well, we are out of time. So this was fun talking about transportation. And so maybe we'll keep up talking about things with dreams. I mean, of course we're going to keep up talking about things with dreams.
That's a great
maybe
idea,
we'll just
Michael.
keep on talking about things with symbols and stuff. We'll just see what God has in store. But that's all the time we have for today. So as I usually tell you, please go out, like, share, subscribe, do all those things you do on YouTube and Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and I don't even know how we go out. all the different ways we go out. And we really appreciate hearing from you. It really does bless us. So comment, share, let us know you're listening. Let us know you're watching. We appreciate it much. So, till next time, keep dreaming.